I'm Anthony Smith with HFG Trust, and this is the Chart of the Week video. Hello and welcome to the Chart of the Week video series. This week, we're looking at a 20-year historical chart of what is called M2. M2 is a measure of the money supply that includes cash, checking, savings, money market accounts. Simply put, it's a supply of money measurement that can facilitate a discussion on inflation, which is really what this week's video is all about. I am human, and as such, I have a tendency to migrate towards certain subjects, and I always perk up at the mere mention of inflation. I even wrote a white paper on the topic last year as fiscal and monetary policymakers rained dollars on Americans in an attempt to offset the impact of the COVID-related shutdowns. You can find that on our website or just reach out directly to me and I'll send it to you. Now, inflation is a very popular topic, not just with me, of course, but right now we're all seeing dramatically higher prices in certain product and service categories. The question is it going to be transitory or will the inflation be persistent? Transitory is not scary. Maybe these price spikes that we're all seeing are simply due to bottlenecks that came about because of COVID. And maybe they'll reverse course once everybody is up and running again. I will say that the folks who don't seem too concerned about inflation can rightfully point to the massive quantitative easing efforts, money printing, that we saw in response to the great financial crisis of 2008. Why didn't all that money creation lead to runaway price inflation? Now let's look at this chart. While our central bank did increase the monetary base at a then unprecedented clip, our country's banks use these funds to shore up their teetering balance sheets rather than lending into a fragile economy. So that new money didn't find its way into the real economy or into a measure of money supply like M2. It hardly registers on this chart, as you can see. This time around, our elected officials and central bankers have worked seemingly in tandem to boost the money supply in the real economy, and it's working. M2 spiked 25% last year in 2020. In the prior 20 years, it had averaged growth of 6% per year. This newly created money is finding its way into the real economy. It's finding its way into lending and spending, and that is when it becomes inflationary. So I will wrap it up with a quote from one of my favorite economists. It's Milton Friedman, and the quote is this: "Inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon," meaning that if the supply of dollars increases, but the supply of goods and services does not, then you have price increases. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.